Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Chapter 12, Algebraic Factors. Exercise 12h. Our main objective is to factorize a given expression using this formula. Now today when we will be given question, it will be of this type. For example, it can be 49a squared minus, let's say, b squared. So it means each term will be a square and there will be a difference between the two squares. So how can we factorize when we have difference between the two squares? So we can use this formula. Let me explain you with the help of an example. As you can see here, we are going to use this formula for what type of questions whenever we want to factorize this type of expression. Now clearly you can see the first term is a square term of x and the second term is also a square term. It is a square of 3. So we can say this is the square of x and this is the square of 3. So according to the formula, when I have difference between the two squares, how can I write it? I can write it as x plus 3 and x minus 3. Now look at this. If you want to check your answer, it's very easy to check. Just multiply it and check that do you get the same answer. I mean, after getting the answer, if you want to check is your answer, are the factors right or wrong, what can you do? You can multiply it. So x will be multiplied with the x and x will be multiplied with the negative 3. So x times x, it will give us x squared. X times negative 3 will give us negative 3x. Then we will multiply positive 3 with the x, so it will give us positive 3x, and then we are going to multiply positive 3 with the negative 3. So positive and negative will give us negative. 3 times 3 is 9. So finally our answer will become x squared minus 9. Why? Because if you look at these two terms, these are like terms, right? Negative 3x and plus 3x. Now we have to see them according to the rules of addition and subtraction. So they have different signs, so we will subtract. So 3 minus 3 will give us 0. And many times I told you in my videos that whenever you are getting 0, that means you can cancel these two terms. So finally we are getting the same answer. So very easy, like whenever you see that the first term is a square of something and the second term is also a square of any number or any variable, then you can use this formula. Let's start the questions. Here the first question I have already solved it for you. As you can see, the question given says x squared. So this is the square of x and only 1. But 1 squared, if you take the square of 1, it will be 1. So that means 1 can be replaced by 1 squared. Now when we have reached on this stage, we can write the answer like it will be x plus 1 according to our formula a plus b. So you will write x plus 1 and according to the formula we have to subtract the two terms, so it will be x minus 1. So remember, we have to get this square sign on the base and then we take the bases, once we add them, once we subtract them to get the factors. And you can check your answer if you want to. But does it make any difference? For example, a student has written x minus 1 first and then he has written x plus 1. Does it make any difference? No, it doesn't make any difference, right? You can write any of the factor first and the other one next to it. Okay, now here let's solve question number 5. Now this one, clearly it is the square of x, right? Better if you want to put a bracket, it will be easy for you. Okay, minus, now this is 8. Square of 8 is 64. So you can write 8 squared is 64. This means that this x squared has been replaced by this and this 64 has been replaced by 8 to the power 2. Now how we will write our final answer? We will take the bases. The base here is x and the base here is 8. So we will take the bases, once we will add them and then x minus 8. We will subtract it. So this will be our final answer. So this is the answer. These are the factors, or you can say this is the factorization for this expression. Okay, let's solve some more questions now. Now this one is the square of what? This one is the square of 6. So write this 36 is the square of 6 and then we have x squared. Now how we will write the answer? We will 6 plus x and then 6 minus x, or you can write it 6 minus x first and then 6 plus x. Now better pause the video here and solve question number 15 on your own. So here is the answer for question number 15. Like 16 is the square of 4 and x could be replaced by x squared. Then once you will add them and then you will subtract them. Now solve number 18 on your own and then play the video to check your answer. So here is the answer for this question. It's very simple. It's exactly like the formula. In the formula you have the letters or the variables a and b. Here you have the variables x and y. That's all for this video. Hope you understand it.